Hey folks, welcome to my Heroes and WBIF.net tutorial. This is for new players or anyone needing a quick little refresher. I will start with the WBIF.net tutorial portion and then go over some Heroes things. The reason why I'm doing WBIF.net is because there's plenty of people and have been playing Heroes for a year and a half or 2 years or longer. And they may or may not want to stay for the entire session. The main thing I'm going to do with the Heroes tutorial is go through the settings to show you how you can make the software work best for you. There's a bunch of different options. Unlike Galaxy, which is great. I love playing on Galaxy. I play all my fast speed game and matches on Heroes. I'm sorry, on Galaxy, but I prefer to use Heroes for tournament matches. I think it's just more conducive to tournament play. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen. And this is the Heroes window. This is what it looks like when you first sign in. Let me go over to WBIF. I am there now. So when you, I'm going to log out real quick myself. And so the way you can see that you're not logged into Heroes, I'm sorry, WBIF, is at the top of the screen. If the arrow is to the left of your name, if you hover over your name or the little person icon, it says the word guest. And the arrow is to your left, meaning, and if you hover over it, it says log in. I'm going to do that right now. Once you've logged in once before, it saves your name at the top, so you have to go to that horrible drop-down list. Password, just hit send, and you're logged in. And it will always bring you to this page called My Matches. In there, you can see if you have a BMAB title. Actually, give me just 1 second. Looks like someone else is trying to get in. Okay. And that has my Grid Gammon and WBIF Tiger nicknames, as well as my Heroes nickname, and then you got my match histories. So I played 16 matches that were WBIF matches. I'm 10-6, and my overall PR is 498. Last year in this tournament, 512 players, I actually tied for 33rd, which is the lowest caching spot. Right below that, you can see all my opponents. And I don't want to hear anyone else complain about the draw they may have had, how easy or difficult it might be, because I think I might have the toughest draw of the 512 players in the tournament. I have a G2, which is Steen Mikkelsen, which may also known as Steen Gronbeck, who's probably a top 20 player in the world. And then I have the _1 player on Galaxy, Zdenek, and also the top Croatian player, Mislav. So I have a three of my first 5 matches are against super strong world-class players. I'm excited to play these guys. I played Mislav a few times. I played Zdenek once or twice. I've never played Steen, so I'm looking forward to playing him for the first time. So what you see here is these are all the matches that I have. Once you play the first 5 rounds, each week just one match will pop in, or when he does the draw for the new round. To schedule your match, which I guess I will do with, do this one first. Actually, I'll do Mislav since I've already talked to him a little bit. When you click that little envelope button, it pops up this message screen. This email, once you hit send, is going to send you an email, your opponent an email, and Bernhard Mayer, who is the director of the World Backgammon Internet Federation and president of WBGF, the World Backgammon Federation. It will send all 3 of us an email, so there's full communication. Once again, you want to be proactive in scheduling these matches, so you make sure you get them all played in the appropriate period of time. There is this default text that pops in. I would like to propose another time, and then it lists Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If I scroll to the top, it lists WBIF time here. And we always want to speak in WBIF time so your opponent doesn't have to try to figure out what time zone you are and adjust accordingly. He's always going to adjust to, or you and your opponent should always adjust to the WBIF time, which is the same as Central European time. Looks like someone sent me a message in the chat. Magneto, I'll get back to you on that. We'll try and figure that out for you and make sure your name gets saved so you don't have to try and look for it every time. It's kind of a pain. I already talked to Mislav, and I'm sorry, Mislav.
Rory, can I ask a question about time?
Sure.
Okay, so I know daylight savings time is coming up, but my understanding is it's only for the United States. So for this round where we're playing up until, I believe, April 1st.
Yes.
Like, can you help me understand, is Europe not moving or moving?
I believe they're going to move actually a week or two after us. Maybe even 3 weeks after us. Europe does move as well, but you just always want to schedule it based on whatever the current CET, Central European or WBIF time is here. If you ever have a question about whether or not you're scheduling at the right time, because you don't want to be, it's possible there are matches where one player or the other will show up an hour late, and if you know you're in that window of time where the US has changed clocks and Europe hasn't, try and be patient. Maybe send your opponent an email or a message and saying, hey, we scheduled at this time, I don't see you yet. Or you can always contact me and I can potentially help out, but hopefully it won't be a problem. We do recognize it as being a potential issue, but hopefully it won't be.
Okay, thanks.
No, my pleasure, absolutely. So Mislav said he wasn't going to be available until after next week. So next week he said he could play sometime. One other thing. If you notice the date here, this says deadline is 1/4/22. That's the 1st of April 2022. In the US, we write the date month, day, year. Most other countries write it day, month, year. So you want to make sure you're writing it in that order: day, month, year. So Monday, he said the 13th of April. I'm going to change this to Wednesday, the 15th of April, or Friday, the 17th of April. And he said he can play, I think he said after, like, in the evening his time. So I'm going to say, if he said he could play in the evening, I know I'm good during anytime after noon these days. So if it's noon here, it's 7 p.m. for him. So I'm just going to put in 7 and 12 is 1900 hours each of these days. But once again, I'm going to give, rather than just saying 1900, I'm going to say 19 to 2300. So he can pick a time and when he emails me back. 2300. And and you can also offer this option where it says the best times are for me in any of these forms. But this is generally the form that I use. I'm offering 3 different days: Monday, once again, the 13th, Wednesday, the 15th, or Friday, the 17th. Oh, actually, one second. I just realized I was making a mistake. This is March, not April. The deadline was first. So I got this in right now. I'm just going to delete this out. And if you're going to copy and paste like the same message or a very similar format to your other opponents, you can just copy and grab this text, copy it, and then paste it into the next player. So I'm just going to hit send now.
Rory, one more question on that.
Sure, go ahead.
So when you said 1900 to 2300, is that the start time or the time of the match? Like, if
I'm giving him a range of start times for him to pick one.
Okay, great.
So go back to my matches, and you don't see anything here but I just heard it pop into my email address. That's from Doug. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is the email I just got back from the system, and you can see Mislav, and this is the email address that Bernhard uses for the tournament. Turnier later is, it has a meaning. I can't remember. It's in German. I think it means something like tournament ladder or something like that. So, but this is the standard email that you'll get, and each of your opponents will get. Apply. Okay, so back here. So once he replies and says, sure, we can play at such time, you can actually schedule the match by clicking these buttons here. And the reason why you want to do that is so it gets on the books technically, so the tournament director can see that all the matches are scheduled. And also, people might see that, oh, Rory's playing Zdenek or Rory's playing Mislav, and they'll see it scheduled, and they might go to Heroes and watch the match. So it's great to go ahead and you absolutely should, once you confirm a time with your opponent, go ahead and click this little pencil button. Come on. Why is it working? Oh, there it is. And so you just type in the date and time, hit send, and that publishes the time. If you're in your opponent for some reason can't make it at that time, you want to reschedule it, you can do that by clicking that same button here, or you can just cancel if you need to and then reschedule later. I'm just going to go back.
Rory, I've got a comment on that.
Sure.
I played in this thing last year, and I noticed the thing you were just going over, when you enter the date, it's actually in the American order with month and day first, and that kept confusing me for a while.
Oh, that's so great. So on one then maybe it's better if you actually you're going to grab it from the date from a calendar, so that shouldn't matter that much. But yeah, you're right. It's kind of strange that it's the American way here, and the standard European on the other page. But still, maybe just type in March or name the month and the day rather than putting 03 or 04. But it should be pretty clear to you and your opponent.
Hey, Rory.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Maybe I missed this. Are you talking about the email coming to your own personal email, or is there an email on this site?
That email I created was on this site by clicking these little envelope buttons next to your opponent, so you can try and schedule the match. I already sent that message to Mislav. I'll send now one to ZZ. I'm actually not going to send it, but I'll show and open it up. It automatically defaults into this text.
Okay.
I just copied and pasted from the other one. Let me just go from here down, and I copied it. So this is what I sent to Mislav. So I would like to propose an appointment for our match, and I gave him 3 options: anytime on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday from 1900 to 2300. Once again, go ahead.
If somebody has sent me an email here,
yes,
how do I know that?
You would get an email in your inbox, just like I sent that one to Mislav, and he'll
on this site. Yes.
Say again.
On this site. An
yes,
email box on this site.
No, you'll get it in your
my real email.
Yes, can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Does it show my email inbox, or does it show?
I don't know what I'm looking at. Is this your email inbox?
Yeah. So you can see this email, it looks like it came from myself.
Okay.
But it actually says, hello, Mislav, I would like to propose the time. This is the text that I had in that little envelope button that I submitted through the website.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
Hey, Rory, quick question.
Sure.
After sending the first email, so any other communication would be on the email, right?
You can either, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either click reply all, and that way, once again, your opponent and the director of the tournament gets the communication, or you can just go back, click if say Mislav responded to me and I want to respond back, I can respond back here, just wipe out all this text and say, great, see you Monday and see you on Monday at 7 p.m. just to confirm. So you can either reply all, which you shouldn't just reply, you should reply all. That way the WBIF tour director gets the email And the reason why that's important is just in case there's any issue between the two players about, well, I contacted him and he never responded, or he did respond and he, so-and-so never responded back, whatever. If there's a problem with the match being scheduled, the tour director actually has all the communication between the two of you. That's why we ask you to either reply all or go ahead and use this messenger feature.
How about if the opponent doesn't reply?
If they don't reply, I would say after a week. Right now, it's we have 3 weeks to play these first few matches. If he doesn't respond within a week, send a second email, and actually in the note that this is my second email to you. Just want to try and get the match scheduled. Please let me know what time is good for you, or something like that. If
I'm asking this because some of the emails might go to the spam or the junk mail. So
it does sometimes, but it shouldn't. There will be a little bit of issues the first week or two in the first rounds, but people are used that have played in this tournament before are used to it, and so in most cases it won't be a problem. And you also probably want to save the email address as a allowable sender. Make sure it's on your whitelist. Is there anything else? Now,
Rory, is this the protocol that is basically mandated that we follow?
Yeah, it's well, I mean, if like Fadul is a good friend of mine, I can schedule it within here and follow the protocol, but it's Dooley. He already texted me today and said, hey, when do you want to play?
Okay.
So, I mean, if it's someone you don't know, you absolutely should be following the protocol and just to protect yourself and everyone else and make sure you don't get defaulted. But if it's, if it was you and me, I'd just send you a text and say, hey, Jeff, when do you want to play?
Okay. Well, I was in Heroes yesterday morning and I
Sure.
started to get inundated with all these messages from people. And
Oh, interesting. So you got the message. Well, in Heroes, sometimes you'll get messages from, if it's from these players, that might happen. I'll show you why in just a second.
well, it was from 2 players that's on my list to play,
Oh,
but
sure.
I didn't know they were on my list.
And I'll show you where that is now. And actually, why don't we go ahead and do that now, since I've pretty much showed you everything here.
Rory, can I ask a quick question on time when you set it up under the date pencil?
Sure.
Which is, mine shows up as like AM and PM. So can you confirm internationally 19 o'clock is 7 p.m.?
Correct. Yeah, you just, if it's over 12,
Okay.
you just subtract 12.
Great. I was just expecting a 24-hour clock. And does this send an email as well?
Say again?
Does this send an email as well?
I believe the match scheduler does. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm like 90+% sure. Okay.
I think I got an email back from my opponent that scheduled confirmed the match.
When it's confirmed. Sure,
Right.
that makes sense.
Correct.
Okay, so we're gonna hop over to Heroes for just a second to show you what how the two systems are linked. And this is a really great feature of WBIF.net and Heroes, and the fact that they're so well connected. So we now have 5 opponents each. If you've already played your match, you only have 4, of course. But if you clicked and when you log in, you come to this main screen. If you click main, there's this list of friends. I'm in Chicago, so it has United States, my incomplete matches, tournament, external tournaments, and then look here, WBIF.net. If I click that, it shows my 5 opponents. So when if one of these people were logged in, I could literally just click their name. It would pop open the invite button, and all I have to do is say send or whatever it is, invite to the match. I don't have to change any of the settings. Everything is automatically done. All the match setup is correct.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, it really is. Then at the end of the match, when you
Rory, could I ask a question about the beginning of the match?
Sure.
I've had occasions with tournaments on Studio Heroes where both I and my opponent are logged in, and I can see that he's there, but he doesn't have the ready thing set on.
Okay.
Now, I don't, for the life of me, I have not been able to figure out how to send messages to people.
Okay.
I know how to use the chat when I'm already in a room with them.
Okay, if they're logged in, I'll go to the main area. I'll show you how to do that right now. Main. So if I want to send a message to someone, I click on their name. Look, there's a little message button right there.
Oh, all right.
And this person declined my chat, but hopefully that won't happen in the future. But yeah, there's a player action. Also, if you ever have a questions with heroes and you're having trouble, you can't get a hold of me, and you just want a quick answer, you go to menu and go to admin help. Oh, there is no, wow, that's very rare. Maybe he's over on Heroes 3 right now. But normally there's an admin help person, which is Terje, and it pops open a message box, and he's really great at responding quickly. He's also on Facebook. If you're not friends with him, I suggest you become friends with him, and he's really great at answering messages on Facebook as well. Terje Peterson. I'm on, here's my Facebook. I click messages. Let me pull this thing away for a quick second.
I don't know what Facebook is, but.
Gotcha. Where's Terje? Oh, there he is. Terje. So this is my conversation with him. So you always go to Facebook if you need to, and become friends with him there, if that helps. So when, as I said earlier, when you win your match or lose your match for that matter, you don't have to do anything else. The match is automatically uploaded to WBIF. And if we go to the main tournament page and you go to the WF main page by clicking the link right above your My Matches, you can see all these matches have already been played. And the match, you can see, because there's an XG file, that means that's the XG file that's been uploaded. In about 1 to 3 days after you've uploaded your matches, they will be analyzed. And then instead of being the little XG logo, you'll actually see the PR for every match in this tournament. Here's where you can see in chronological and time order the next matches that are scheduled. So once, who said they had a scheduled match? Was that Jeff?
Yeah, I got one.
Have you already played it?
No.
Okay, so I can tell you, Control F, Proctor, that you have a match scheduled for the 10th at 6 p.m. European time, which is 11 a.m. or 12 noon for you, correct?
Correct.
There it is. So you want to search someone, or if you want to see all the, this is a great match. Frank Terrett and Dirk Scheinman just lost to Mochi in the final of the UBC, and they're playing on the 11th at 5:30 Central Europe time. So once again, if you want to, you can keep track and look at matches here to see who and when is playing. And if you want to go watch it, you go to Heroes at the same time and observe the match. And then below there's the standings. Wow, this guy has already played 4 matches. He's 3-1. Mirzuk Yugo, I guess I'm getting or close to that spelling. He's from Bosnia, Herzegovina. And so you can see all these players. Oh, there's another guy that's already played 4 matches. He's 2-2. And so you can see 84 people have already won a match. Everyone above here has won at least 1 match. And how many other people have played a match but lost? A bunch of people have 2 losses and a bunch 455. So about another 50, 60 players. So about 150 people have played at least 1 match already. That's something just Bernhard and I will track throughout the tournament.
Hey, quick
yes.
question, if I could, about how long overall is this kind of expected to take?
The last version didn't end until December. Maybe it was the end of November, early December.
Gotcha. I figured it would be kind of a multiple months kind
yeah.
of thing.
He was playing the round basically 2 matches every 3 weeks. So you had 10 or 11 days. I don't know if he's going to pick up the pace and have it be every 7 days for this or not, but that could very well happen.
How many rounds was it?
Well, it's a
'Cause
5
it can
loss
vary,
limit.
I know exactly. I was just kind of wondering
I
how
can't
many the
remember how
last
many.
one
It was
maybe.
probably around 21 or 22 rounds.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
I don't remember what the final record was, but actually, and I actually don't know if we. Oh wait, I guess we can just look at it here. You can see what the final record was.
You made it to the quarterfinals or something, didn't you, Rory?
Yeah. Well, no, I think I went. 10-5. I think I won 10-5. And it looks like,
That's the club championship.
oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Actually, it's not here. So I guess we can't, unfortunately can't. Maybe it's somewhere where you can see how many rounds. I'm not quite sure. So that's pretty much it for WBIF. It's all tied in together. Once again, if you want to find out, go back to your matches right here on the left-hand side when you're signed in, click My Matches, and you go back to this screen that has your PRs and everything. Does anyone have any other questions about WBIF.net? Okay, I'm going to move over it to Heroes again and do the full Heroes settings tutorial. If you've played on Heroes and you don't want to stick around, you're more than welcome to skip. But here we go. So under the menu button, there's
Rory, I'm familiar with Heroes. Could I just ask you for a quick question on Zoom?
Sure.
Because I got a email from WBIF where it seems like they're encouraging video contact for matches.
You don't have to use video contact. You can if you like. And when you go to a match, there is a option to turn on video, and you and your opponent can turn on video in the Heroes.
Oh, in Heroes. So okay, good.
Yep.
Because I don't know anything about Zoom either. So, but thanks.
Okay. So if you go to settings, and I'm going to go through all these different settings and show you what I use, and I'll show you a bunch of different options. You go to settings, then board settings, and the first one I want to go to, I guess we can look at, is board size. I always have automatic board size on, and if you want, you can turn on show board only. It stretches the board, so I personally don't like it. So I just keep it on show board only. I'm sorry, turn that off. But if you like, you can turn that on. Make sure board size is on, automatic board size is on. That's what I use. Go back. And the next one is bear off. You can just choose bear off on the left or right, bear off on the left or right. And also you can turn on flags. Since I'm not actually on a match, it doesn't show your flag. But if I'm an American, so it would show an American flag in this area and then show my opponent's flag in this area if I'd turn it off because it actually distorts the checkers that are in the bear off tray. It's not that big a deal, but some people like them on, some people don't. Board textures. Now this is the look and feel of the board, which is probably one of the most settings. You click on board textures and then click board gallery. I guess I have to pick on this one. This little gallery shows up. It's kind of small. But once you get in and you're at this green and black and beige one, if you go 7 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is the board I like. The reason why I like it, I'm just going to hop out of it. Actually, close this. The reason why I like it is the colors are contrast nicely, but it doesn't hide the checkers at all. The white and the black doesn't tie into the board at all. The color of the board is kind of neutral, the brown tones. It just works for my eyes nicely, especially with the black border. But there's all these different color schemes. You're welcome to pick any one you like. But once again, if you want to use the one that I like and what works best for me, go to board settings, board textures, click board gallery, and you can skip 7 to the right. Oh, went back. Oh, this black and red one isn't too bad, but I feel like you might miss a checker because the points are black as well. I don't like it when the checkers are the same colors as the points. And also you can just individually change the peg colors. Even if you find a color you like, but you don't like one thing about it, you can individually change those. The frame and the inner board, you can also change those. So that's the bare textures. If you go to checkers and cube, you can pick the color of the checkers separately. I don't use this stuff. You can even swap the checker color if you need to, for some reason or another. Board elements. Oh, board numbers. Those are the numbers on the top and the bottom of the screen. If you turn them off, they're off, obviously. Static. And I think that means they stay and they don't change. Whereas if it's just on, when your opponent rolls, when it goes to your opponent roll, it will invert the numbers. So this will be 1 to 24 around this way. Scorecard. I have the scorecard on. It's here. There's no way to find this. That's what the new was. Okay. Where do I go? Board settings. Board elements. Scorecard. It should be here. Alternate arrows. Or actually, I'm going to skip alternate arrows real quick. Alternate element position. If you have it off, it has the cube and the scoreboard. You can't see the scoreboard because I'm in settings, but the scoreboard is right here. I turn this on so it puts the cube on one side of the board and the scoreboard on the other. I just think it's a better view. The alternate arrows. Oh, this is an arrow, shows who's turned it on. Turn it is, versus if you have it off, it shows you. I'm sorry. There it is. It shows you the dice. Not that big a deal.
Rory,
Yes,
maybe I know all the hero stuff mostly.
sure.
One thing I don't know is how to do video. Maybe you could do that first, then I could like, maybe people who are familiar with
Very
the-
simply, I've actually never done video in here, but from what I understand, you click this video button.
Where was that? Down in the corner?
Yeah, right here, down here in the corner.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I'd have to install something to do it, but so
I
I'm
think
not
you
gonna
have
do
to
it
be
right now.
playing somebody.
Yeah, that also might very well be true. That makes sense.
and so what, Zoom comes up or something?
I believe it is Zoom, yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's integrated.
Thank you.
Yep. Resign button or shadows, just put a shadow on the checker. I have it turned off. Gray filter, just turn to gray if you want. A resign button, this little flag down here on the bottom, if you want to like you want to resign a game because you can't win, but you can't save the gammon, or you've already saved the gammon, you can click the flag right here, and it says resign a single gammon, backgammon, or match. You can either have that turned on or off. If you have it turned off and you want to resign while you're in a game, you go menu, and I'm not in a match, so it doesn't say, but the first thing option would be resign match or resign game. Video button, and I'm not sure what screenshot button is. Never used it before. Going back, so that's the board size, bear off textures. Checkers, board elements, animations. I have them all turned off. I'm not even sure what the different animations do, but I think I don't want to be distracted by like XG has those hands that can move around the board. I don't want to be distracted by any of that, so I always have that turned off. All animations I turn off. Input 1, board buttons, I have them on. These are the buttons right here. Used to be able to move this thing, but I can't drag it. If I turn it off, the buttons go away. You can also change the size of the buttons, make them bigger and smaller. And you can also space them out a little bit, which isn't a bad idea. Because if you don't ever want to misclick, obviously, especially on a take pass decision. So maybe it's a little better to have them spread out a little bit. You can also choose your right mouse click action. So right now, if I right click, I have it set as in play the right die. So say I want to play the smaller number first, you can click the dice and that will swap them. Or under my setting, I can just right click and it will move the smaller number. Confirm cube action is on. If you have this off and someone doubles you and you hit take, you automatically take. With this on, it will say, do you really want to take? Or pass for that matter. Or do you really want to double? All that is included. No cube auto roll, I have that turned on. That means if there's a dead cube or if you've already doubled and you can't double again, you have no cube action, it's going to automatically roll rather than wait for you to click roll the dice. No double button, I have that turned off. And I'll show you what the difference is. Yeah, I have it turned off. That means I have a double button, meaning it's in the middle of the board. Oh no, I have it turned off because if I want to double, instead of having a button in the middle of the screen, I want to have to click the cube. So if I have the no double button, I guess I should have it turned on. The only way I can double is if by clicking the cube, and that prevents me from accidentally doubling when I didn't want to.
Rory, I just noticed something.
Sure.
Can you bring the bottom of your board up about a ½ an inch? I mean, I can't see it because of the taskbar for.
You can grab. I can't move it up. What you can do is you can grab the taskbar and move it to the side. Like I have mine on the very right hand. I dragged it to the right side and it's vertical.
Oh, well, anyway, see where it says player 2?
Yes.
See underneath there, that little video camera?
Yep, that's the video button,
That's
right?
how you turn the zoom on while you're playing the match.
Correct.
That's where it is.
Yep. And then this is just bigger dice if you want them or not. Okay, so that's input 1. Input 2. Disable make points is turned off. If it was having it turned off with my 5-3, I can click the point and it will make the point. Disable drag pieces. I have it turned off so I can drag a piece. I can also click, since I rolled a 5-3, if I click the 16 point, it will move a checker the entire way. Is there anything else? Oh, you actually can
Which
turn,
setting was that, Rory?
disable drag pieces.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yeah, and I have all, it looks like I have all these off. So if it's a force move, there's no reason for me to wait to try and figure out, oh, I have a force move. If it's a force move, the computer automatically plays it. And also it automatically picks up the dice if I fan or I can't move, it just picks up the dice. Play from the bar first. You know how sometimes you try and move the 6 or whatever. Like if I have this turned on, I have to play the checker off the bar first. With this, if you roll, say roll a 6-5, you can actually click the 6 from the 24 point and then bring the checker in if you so choose. Not that big a deal. Space bar to confirm, meaning if this is I have it turned off, but if it was on, I could hit the space bar and it would pick up the dice. Shortcuts, if you go to the help menu, which I'll show you where that is shortly, there's a list of shortcuts. I have them turned off, but it's not that big a deal. And that's pretty much all the settings, board settings I go over. Chats, I don't use that. Display. Email settings. Email settings is good to use. If you have it turned on, it will email you a copy of your match file. Every time you play a match, it will automatically send you an email with your match file. And then if you want the MAT file, it will send you that. I have it turned off, so it just sends the text file. Notification settings.
So there's no easy way to import Heroes 3 settings into Heroes 1?
No, you got to copy them all.
Okay, no
But
worries.
you can have the 2 windows open side by side. You know, to put one on the left side of the screen, one on the right. In case people don't know how to do that, if you want to have 2 screens side by side, if you have I don't know how to do it on an Apple, but on a PC, you hold down the window key and click the right arrow. See how it just moved this screen to the right side? And then if I click to this and click the window screen and the left arrow, it literally puts the 2 screens side by side. go back to maximize. Just a little other Microsoft tip. There's a bunch of other settings in here. So you can get a flash. It will give you a little beep when you're down to 20, 10, or 5 seconds on your bank. That you probably want to have that turned on. Sound set. Oh, the last two things. Sound settings and voice settings. I have everything turned off. I just don't ever want to hear the sound of the dice rolling or the moving of the checkers. Some people like it. I find it a bit of annoying, so I turn everything off. Once again, voice and sound. Obviously, you can have them on if you want. If you don't, turn them all off. And then I guess you don't need that. Does anyone have any questions about WBIF or Heroes at this time?
What's the difference between Heroes and Heroes 3?
They're not really nothing other than the primary servers Heroes. With the number of users that joined Heroes during the COVID era, it inundated the server, so he created a second server. The primary use for that second server is for people that want to run tournaments that are not non WBIF or what's called Heroes tournaments. So like the USBGF or the ABT tournament directors, when we run our tournaments, we use the Heroes 3 server, and that's the intention is that it gets some of a lot of the traffic off of Heroes and splits it up so they have less server problems.
So for general use, we should use Heroes and not Heroes 3?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when you say general use. What do you mean by general use?
If we just want to hang out and play?
Either one is fine. You'll find people in the lobby of either one.
Regular Heroes will probably have more people. It also, regular Heroes has a few extra features that Heroes 3 doesn't have.
That's true as well. I think you only really see those though if you're a premium member.
Okay, as far as like the analysis and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the what's called that? There's something called the database.
What's the difference between premium and not?
There's a few things that you don't have access to the private database if you're not premium. The private database, if you look across the top here, you click private database, and I'm just going to move this stuff so I can see it. I can go into my matches, and actually I can see all the matches that are in here. I can actually go back and walk through them and see all the errors.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the. Where's that rainy day match? Yeah, that. Oh, this rainy day match. I'm gonna go into this rainy day match. This is like, one of my worst bad beats ever. I'll show you to you guys real quick, just for entertainment purposes. If I go to, or how do I navigate to the end of the match? 1 second.
Also with premium, you get like longer match lengths and a few other things too.
Oh yeah, with premium, you can invite someone to any match up to, I think, up to 25. Whereas if you're not premium, you can only invite someone to an 11-point match.
Didn't I pay you for the premium?
Who's that?
Alan Stefan.
I believe you did. If you want to confirm, if you just click the menu button in your own Heroes.
Okay.
Well, I'm in right now. I'm in the match. You'll see premium here, and you should see a thumbs up next to premium.
Okay. Cool. So you can analyze matches in there too, right?
Yeah, yeah. The system analyzes the matches. Yep. So
Rory,
this match, we're at DMP, and after my 5-4. Oh no, that's her 5-4. My 6-6, her 5-4. After my 4-3, 5-1, 6-4. After my 6-4, like 99.7% in this match. 99.7%, and I lost. I lost this match. It was brutal, but it was to a good friend, so I didn't care that much. So I roll 5-4, and just what happened. So I take 2 checkers off, so I have 9 off, and then she hits, and I fanned like 3 times in a row or something. And every time I hit, she came around, and I fanned more, and it was just gross. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, Rory, I wasn't sure if you know of a setting, like I have it on here as 3, but you click the dice and that's your turn. So basically like Vacuum and Galaxy, but in Heroes rather than a button.
Yeah, if you have, I think you can always click the dice, or you can click the when you can turn off the buttons. If the buttons aren't on, then you click the dice, and they're definitely done.
Got it. Okay, so it might just be that I'm like not playing anyone. It just happens to be on a board.
Yeah, you have to be in a match for them to actually pick up.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Any final questions?
Thanks, Roy, for helping.
My pleasure, absolutely.
Yeah. Can I just ask, did you go
Sure.
through reporting a match? I mean, through WBIF, I guess. Is it pretty straightforward?
Actually, yeah, you don't have to do anything. When you finish the match, because exit match.
Oh,
Because it's this WBF matches, they're automatically uploaded like almost immediately after you finish the match. You'll see it. It will pop up here.
so I don't need to click the result pencil.
No, you don't have to report the result. It's automatically done.
Okay, and then just to make sure I don't like screw this up, so
Sure.
I'll go into Heroes. I'll sit in the WBIF room. Like, do all I have to do is click on the player, and that way it will
pop up
where-
a little invitation button. And you actually we can go there real quick. I'm gonna go to main just because I can't. When I click someone's name, this will automatically be preset to a 13-point match with the correct WBIF settings, and all you have to do is click challenge. That's it, done.
Okay, sounds good.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Now, do both of you have to be in that WBIF room for that settings to come up for the correct match?
You just won't know if you're in main and your opponent, I believe your opponent will see you. Do you see how there's a box around my name?
Mhm.
And they're all great. There's no box around anyone else.
Right.
It's because they're not logged into Heroes. If
Right.
they were logged into Heroes, they would have this same box that I do, and I could just click their name, and it would pop up the box to send them the invite.
Okay. But if they saw you and they were in the main room and sent you the invite, they wouldn't get the settings, correct?
Right, Ari. They should before you click to play a no, you have to submit the match from or start the match from this area, because if you don't, it won't get uploaded and it
Okay.
won't have the proper setting.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid. So
Yeah.
sit in
So
the
you always,
WBIF.
if you're playing a WBF match, you go here, click the person's name, pops up the box, hit challenge.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me to point that out. Good call. Good question. Okay, guys and lady.
Question about WBIF. What is the
Yes, sir.
Tiger thing?
That's a subset of their tournaments. I'm not sure exactly. Is that Bob that asked?
No, Alan.
Oh, Alan, sorry. I'll ask Bernhard what he can tell me about login for Tiger, what it actually means. I'm not sure exactly, to be honest.
Okay, I tried to log into it and wasn't able to.
Yeah.
I didn't have the right settings on my computer for some reason.
Let me just see what happens when I click login for Tiger. That doesn't work.
That's what I got.
So maybe that is currently out of use. I'm not sure exactly, but I'll ask and I'll send you an email and let you know.
Cool.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much for being here. Hopefully it was informative. If you have any questions throughout the tournament, feel free to text me, call me, send me an email. I'm happy to help. Oh, one other thing about Heroes, one thing that I really like and why I think it's better for tournaments than Galaxy, and specifically tournament play is what I'm referring to, is when each game starts, the clock or delay does not run until the first person picks up their dice. So when you still open the match, the delay doesn't start until the first person that won the opening roll picks up their dice, then the delay starts for the next person. And every game is the same way. So if you guys ever want to take a break between games, the clock doesn't start until the first player makes his move and picks up the dice. I think that's a great.
That's good to know.
Yes.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
another question about
Sure.
WBIF.
Yes, sir.
What if we want to play other tournaments and stuff in there? Do we just?
So
how
in
do we
order
do
for you
that?
to register, if you go to the main page, home, you can see all the other tournaments are here.
Right.
Obviously you can't play in the Sweden's national championship. And I think these 2 cup tournaments are invitation only, or people that have qualified. But this 18th Heroes tournament, you're welcome to join. You are not welcome to join the Women's World Championship. But you are welcome to join the World Speed Championship that starts May 1st. The thing is, in order for you to enter a tournament, you need to have money in WBIF. Just like I was collecting payments for this tournament, if you want to have money there and you don't want to pay the PayPal transaction fees, you can send money to me, and I can have him deposit it to your account. So, and the way you see, if you had money, if you went to WBIF, I believe, I thought it would show my balance here. I know my balance is 0. So I'm not sure. I think
You don't want us sending our transactions through you. That's more work for you.
it's not a problem. So I work for the backgammon community. I run a lot of tournaments. Backgammon is good to me, and I'm happy to do things like this to help players. So if you want to play in some of these international tournaments and you need to send, say you need to send, or one tournament's 30, another one's 10, that's 40 euros. But say you want to send 100 euros just so you can have a balance, so you don't have to send me money next time. Send me send me a text. I'll tell you what the conversion is. I round up to the next dollar, unless it's really close, then I might round up $1.50 or $1.20 or something. Just because I'm taking the risk of long-term cost of trading euros versus dollars. So there's a teeny little fee to you, but I'm happy to do it, and I can settle things with Bernhard.
Okay.
What do most of these other tournaments cost on WBIF?
You can click right into them and they'll tell you. So I know this Heroes tournament is only 10 euros. If you click into it, it's somewhere in here. It says, yeah, it's $10 or 10 euros, I should say. The Women's World Championship is 30 euros. The speed, I think, is 20, which I kind of, there's no information yet, but last year I'm almost sure it was 20. So they're pretty inexpensive. These WBIF tournaments are not big money things. They're not trying to have these big money tournaments. They're just trying to have these nice little cheap tournaments so people can play, period. Like this one's $10.
It's a novel idea.
Yeah. And they've been running them for quite a few years, I think. And the WBF obviously has grown significantly during COVID. And I'm happy. I think they're doing great work, and that's why I got involved. I actually volunteered last year to do exactly what I did for this year and contact players and help people get registered and run these tutorials. And I'm just doing it all out of volunteer. Because I think this is a great tournament, and I think the software is great. I like using Heroes. I'm a premium member, and I don't plan to stop. So.
Hey, back to Heroes real fast.
Sure.
Your Heroes tab. So what's the story of Mr. Big Balls Gus and his 90 PR in this match in a 5-point match?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This list of matches right here that you've got
Sure.
like right on your screen.
Oh,
So
it must. I'm guessing he was like, we didn't mean to start it, or we were practicing something and he just resigned at the end.
I just saw that number and I had to.
Yeah, he must have just resigned. There's no other reason for. He's a pretty darn good player. So
does Heroes like hit you for resignation errors and stuff?
Yeah,
I didn't know
think
that.
all the systems do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna call it quits. Once again, thank you for attending. If you have any questions, or in the future, once again, email, WhatsApp, call me, text me. I'm happy to help. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and
Great.
stop
Thank you.
recording
Thanks,
now.
Rory.
Thanks, Rory.
My pleasure. How do you stop recording?
Thanks. Yeah.
Stop share. Then stop recording.
Draws